All right, hey guys, thank you for joining me for math today. So today we're going to be starting a new chapter, which is pretty exciting. We're going to be starting chapter 10, which is about representing data or data, doesn't matter which way you say it. And this chapter is going to focus on graphs. So here's our table of contents where you can find each lesson, you can find what page it's on, it'll tell you what the lesson is about. All right. And here is the show what you know page and the vocabulary page. So you're going to do this page. So here it says sort a handful of red and yellow tiles, make a concrete graph. So how many red tiles are there? So for this one, number one, you probably don't have color tiles at home. So what you can do is you can use a red crayon and a yellow crayon, and you can just kind of make up a couple of numbers and, color that number red and color that number yellow. So let's see, I am going to make up that there are 3 red ones. Okay, well, my crayon kind of looks pink. Oh well. So there's 3 red ones, so I'm gonna shade in 3 squares. If you don't have crayons, you could just shade with your pencil. And I'm going to say that there are 5 yellow squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And now I can answer my question, how many red squares are there? So if I count where the red one is, there are 3. Okay? So the cool thing about graphs is that just by looking at them, you can tell which one has more, because the yellow squares, there are more yellow squares colored than red squares. So in number 2, shade to show a set of fewer. So we know that fewer means less. So if there are 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, you're going to have to shade in a number of boxes that is fewer than 4. Okay, so it says draw a circle below each picture to show the same number of objects. So 1, 2, 3, there are 3 flowers. So you are going to have to draw a circle, or you can shade it to show the same number of objects. Right, and over here, you're going to complete the chart, mark each with a check. So look at all of these words here. Graph, more, fewer, most, fewest. Okay, and I want you to put a checkbox here if you already know it. Put a checkbox here if it sounds familiar, and put a checkbox here like, I don't know, I've never heard this word before. So what you can also do is you can kind of look here at our vocabulary words for chapter 10 and kind of see what you already know about those vocabulary words. Okay, and then, so you're just going to put check marks in the boxes, whether you know them, they sound familiar, or you don't know. And here, you're going to use the review words. So these, the ones in the yellow box, are the review words to label the groups. So in number 1, it looks like there's 3 buckets, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buckets over here. So take the words that you have, graph, more, fewer, most, fewest, and write the correct one here. Now you might remember from blending that when we have EST on a word, that's like the most, that's like the biggest. But since the word is few, fewer, and fewer it means smaller. So fewest would be the smallest, fewer would be kind of the middle. All right. So just keep that in mind when you're writing here. All right. So here is the vocabulary words. Here's a little story and a game, and you can write about it a little bit. And we're going to start 10.1. So use cubes, draw to show the cubes, write how many more. So we know that when it says how many more, that means that it's going to be, one of those is going to be less. It could mean subtraction. Okay. So Let's look at our problem. There are 2 green cubes and 4 blue cubes. How many more blue cubes are there than green cubes? So first on our graph, let's go ahead and show our 4 blue cubes. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm going to do so that I can't have my cubes here the whole time, I am just going to color it with a blue crayon. Okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can just kind of shade it with a blue crayon. Okay, and then there are 2 green cubes. 1, 2. So I'm just going to shade that in with a green crayon. Okay. And now I can answer my question because I can look right away and see that, yeah, there are more blue than green. This is a bigger number. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 4 is bigger than 2. So it says how many more blue cubes are there than green cubes? So I like to think of this as who has a buddy. So does this blue one have a buddy? Yeah, it does. This green one, they're buddies. They've got each other to hang out with. Okay. Now, so we got 2 buddies here. Do these guys have a buddy? Yeah, there's a blue and there's a green. They have buddies. So how many blues don't have a green buddy? 2 of them. There are 2 more blue than green. All right. So I'm going to do this page here, and then you guys can do this page here, okay? So for the example problem, children at the playground, a picture graph uses pictures to show information. So that is what this is. All of this has little people there to show how many do something, okay? So children at the playground, how many of them are on the swings? And how many of them are on the slide? So you can already tell that there are more kids that are on the swings because the number of kids goes farther over here. So there are 4 children on the swings. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are blank children on the slide. So look here in the slide row. This is the row that shows the swings. How many kids are on the slide? 1, 2. There are 2 kids on the slide. There are more children on the blank. So which playground part has more kids? Well, there's 4 on the swings. There are 2 on the slide. 4 is a bigger number than 2, so there are more kids on the swings. So let's go down here. Our favorite activity at the fair. So this at the top is the title of the graph. This is going to tell what the graph is about. So our favorite activity at the fair, the animals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the rides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what this means is that maybe they asked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe somebody went up and asked 12 people and said, what's your favorite activity at the fair? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those people said, you know what? I really like going to see the animals. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those people said, I really like going on the rides. So that's the information that this graph shows. So we're going to use the picture to answer the question. So each little person stands for 1 kid. So which activity did more children choose and circle it? So we have the animals and the rides. So let's look at our graph. How many people chose the animals? Go ahead and tell someone in your house. Absolutely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids chose the animals. Now, how many children chose the rides? Go ahead and tell someone in your house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wonderful. Now, which activity did more children like? More of them. Okay, so there are 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 over here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. Now see, that's just something I like to do to kind of, so that I don't have to count it each time. I know that there's more on the rides because the rides, people go farther than the animals people. So which activity did more children choose? Now 7's a bigger number than 5, so more children chose the rides. How many children chose animals? So we look at our graph, we can either count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if we've written it here ahead of time, then we can just look at the numbers. Oh, 5 kids like the animals. Okay. How many children chose the rides? So we can count the people, or if we wrote it ahead of time, you can just look at the number over here. So how many children chose the rides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 kids. How many fewer children chose animals than rides? So fewer means less. We know that. So since the animals have the lesser number, that means there are going to be fewer kids near the animals than there are near the rides. So we know that the best way to find fewer or more is to just pair them up like they have buddies. So here's one kid at the animal, 1 kid at the ride. So they're buddies. And then another kid on animal, another kid on rides. They're buddies. Another kid on animal, another kid on rides. They're buddies. Okay, and these guys have a buddy, and these guys have a buddy. So how many kids don't have buddies? There's 2 of them. 2 of them. So that means that 2 fewer children chose animals than rides. Okay? So I would like you to complete this one. So you're going to use the picture graph to answer these questions. Okay? So what do we drink for lunch? Some kids drink milk, some kids drink juice, and some kids drink water. Now, like I said, it might be easier to count them ahead of time and then write the number just right here, so that you just have to look at the number and then you'll know. So how many children drink milk? So you just count the number of children who drink milk. How many children in all drink juice and water? So we know that in all means you're going to add 2 numbers together. So maybe you'll add the juice number and you'll add the water number. How many fewer children drink water than milk? So fewer is going to be less. So water is a smaller number than milk. So maybe that would be a subtraction problem. Milk minus water equals fewer children. Or, you can pair up a milk buddy with a water buddy, milk buddy, water buddy. And then how many don't drink water, they choose to drink milk instead. And how many more children drink milk than juice? So we know milk is a bigger number than juice. So you could just pair up the milk kids with the juice kids. And how many fewer or how many more kids choose to drink milk than juice? And how many children in all drink milk, juice, and water? So in all means all together. It means we're going to add. So you would add all the milk kids plus all the juice kids plus all the water kids. Okay. Now 4 new children are going to join the class. They drink juice at lunch. Now, how many more children drink juice than water? So this one asks you to do 2 different things. So 4 new children join the class. They drink juice at lunch. So I'm just going to use my cubes here to show those new children so that we don't get mixed up. So all 4 of those new kids, here's my 4 kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, are going to drink juice. So 1, 2, actually I'll just put a line through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my 4 kids who join the class and who drink juice, okay? Now notice the juice number, still smaller than the milk number, but now the juice number is bigger than the water number because there's more who drink juice than water. So then you can answer this question. Now, how many more children drink juice than water? And you can do this page as well. So here you're going to write some type of addition or subtraction sentence to solve these. So remember, all together means addition. How many more children chose blank than blank? How many more typically means subtraction. How many more children chose lions than zebras and seals all together? So this one you might have to do 2 operations. So how many more chose lions than zebras? So the lion number is bigger than the zebra number. Okay, so just kind of buddy them up. How many don't have buddies? How many more children chose lions than zebras and seals all together? So the lion number is bigger than the zebra number, and it's also bigger than the seal number. So for this one, you can have 3 buddies. One for zebra, lion, seal. These guys have a zebra lion buddy, but they don't have a seal buddy. So that means that these would be part of your how many more. All right, so use the graph at the top. How many children chose lions? So you would just count up the lion number. That's how many kids chose lions. So I'd also like you to do this side and this page. Now, farther into chapter 10, some of these are going to tell you to ask people, it would say, ask 10 friends. So what you can do is you could ask some people in your house these questions, or you could always just make up a number. Okay. And yeah, these are going to ask you about bar graphs. So a bar graph looks kind of like a picture graph, like this one, only it's just colored in, kind of like what we did at the beginning here. We just colored it in. Okay. And this one is making a bar graph. It's going to give you all of these items. These are the foods at the soccer game. How many pizzas are here, how many hot dogs are here, and how many tacos are here. And then you would just kind of choose 3 colors, or you can just shade with your pencil and color that in for the number of items. So 1 pizza would be 1 square. Okay, and you'll do that all through here. And then this one's going to be about tallies. So we know about tallies. So tallies are just lines to show. It's a different kind of a graph, but tallies are just lines to show. Okay, so use circles to solve the problem, draw to show your work, and write how many. So Jane is sorting her crayons. These are all of Jane's crayons. Draw to show how she can sort the crayons into 2 groups. So what are our 2 groups here? We've got red crayons and we've got yellow crayons. So maybe these are the red crayons and these are the yellow crayons. Okay, so we can just count them up to find out how much she has of each. Let's do the red ones first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we know that when we draw tallies, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then number 5 goes across or diagonally. Okay, and so you can just see this and know that it's 5. Okay, so she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She has 10. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you can do the same thing with the yellows. Count them up. And then, 1, 2, 3, 4, cross. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you can write the number that means up there. And so then you'll just make some graphs with tallies, and you'll make some more graphs with tallies and kind of total them up and answer some questions that go with it. Again, if it says ask 10 friends or something, either ask people in your house or make up a number, okay? All right. So if you would like to work on any of this together, I would love to help you out. The end of the year is coming quickly. So if you'd like to work ahead, I would love to see you during office hours, and I would love to help you out with any of this. Thanks for joining me for math today, guys.